Welcome to My Love of Life Energy. I'm Anna Scott, your host. I love beautiful, rich conversations that reveal the truth, beauty, and uniqueness of each person I meet, and I'm honored to share them with you. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today I'm very honored to have Lara J in the house with me. Welcome, Lara.
Hi, thank you, Anna. Happy to be here.
So I don't know Lara other than the 10 minutes that I've just met you, but there's a real warmth
Mm.
and kind of a presence that you have and groundedness.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering if that's coming from your Qigong practice and what you share with your Qigong.
Oh gosh, yeah, I would say absolutely. I discovered Qigong in 2008, the year my daughter was born. I had tripped into chronic illness a few months after she was born and went to go see my teacher as a client. And I had already been practicing and teaching and studying yoga for 7 years before that all happened. But I instantly fell completely in love with the practice of qigong and did a 180 and just turned my back on yoga and went, nope, this is it. This is my new practice, and I've been dedicated to the practice of qigong ever since. And what I love about the qigong is that it the the practices themselves are slower, a little more mindful, a little less physical, physically, athletic and aggressive the way some yoga practices can be. And so it allows for the space to drop in to the deeper, more embodied, more energetic experience for me personally. So the first time I did a Qigong practice, I could actually tangibly feel the energy in between my hands. And that to me was mind blowing and really exciting. And so, as much as I was already somebody who was, again, teaching yoga, and prior to that, I was a dance teacher, so already really involved in movement and embodiment practices. But the qigong just took it to a whole nother level. So, yeah,
Now, and how do you share it with people today?
qigong specifically, yeah,
Yeah.
so I have the practice that I offer is actually my own personal mashup of two standalone practices. One being the Qigong. And Qigong, for those who are listening who don't know, the word Qigong actually means the good work or practice of cultivating universal life force energy. So Qi meaning universal life force energy, and Gong meaning a good work or practice of. So a lot of folks are familiar with Tai Chi, and Tai Chi is a form of Qigong that is a martial art in nature. So it's under the greater umbrella of Qigong. And in China, even something like calligraphy could be considered a form of Qigong if it's done with the intention, again, of cultivating universal life force energy as a spiritual art form. So, so, so there's the personal practices, which look like Tai Chi, although the personal practices that I teach are not a martial art. They're for cultivating physical well-being, emotional well-being, and harmony, and then spiritual well-being as well. And then there's the other branch, which is the clinical side of things, which looks more like a client laying on a massage table and practitioner working with the meridian lines, the point systems along the meridian lines, the five element system, wood, fire, earth, metal, water, all the correspondences, the organs, and everything else. So, sort of like a rough way of describing it might be like acupuncture without the needles, although that's not entirely accurate. But so you have the personal practices, you have the clinical side of things. And I teach, well, I teach the practices, but I also do clinical work with private clients. And then to complicate things even further, I mash I mash all that up with neurogenic tension and trauma releasing work. And I actually studied up in the Bay Area. And with an organization called TRE, or Tension and Trauma Releasing Exercises. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but
That one I've not, that's new.
yeah, so if you think of the way that an animal shakes or trembles when it's
Yeah.
scared or overstimulated,
Yeah.
all mammals have that innate mechanism within their nervous system. So imagine a gazelle getting chased by a lion, and then finally finding safety. The gazelle knows, okay, I'm really not going to be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It will wander off to the side of the herd, shake and tremble. And when that process is complete, it will come back to the herd and graze, happy, healthy gazelle, no PTSD. So humans are mammals. We also have this innate mechanism in our nervous systems. We've all experienced it at some point in time.
Yeah.
But if you can imagine, if you were with the human herd somewhere, let's say out in public at the mall maybe, and you started to shake or tremble, would the rest of the herd just let you do your thing and be like, oh, great, Anna's having a release. Awesome. She didn't get eaten by the lion. Now she's going to let some steam out of the kettle, press the reset button. No, folks would probably rush over, ask you if you needed to go to the ER. Do you want us to call an ambulance? Do you have some medication you need to take? Do you want a shot of whiskey? I don't know, but how can we help you make this stop, right? So we are socially conditioned to be afraid of that tremor or to just think that it needs to be controlled or somehow stopped. So it's actually a very healthy release. And surprisingly, there is a manual way that's very accessible to turn that on in the body. With my clients, we lie down on a yoga mat, we hold the body in a couple of awkward positions, and the inner thighs start to vibrate. Really, it's an involuntary tremor. It's not a voluntary muscle movement. So then I have tricks and ways of getting that tremor to move into different parts of the body. Once my client is comfortable in that tremor process, then I interweave the meridian work and the Chinese energy medicine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can really feel the profoundness of how you're working, of taking this blocked energy. And I can feel I mean, this is my experience of you, is this love and presence and safety with it.
Yeah.
Like you're not afraid of it all. Like just knowing that it's so natural. And then that person then unwinds and then is able to access more of this universal energy to have more of a life. Boy, people are lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for saying that.
Wow.
It's a profound experience. I practiced medical Qigong or Qigong healing for about 10 years before I discovered the TRE. And then when I brought them together, it was just like, oh, wow, this really moves energy. This really shifts things. This is a really transformative experience for folks. So, and I wanted that after having been through my own journey. I was in a healing process and search for about 10 years. And, really in the cave of healing and just searching and seeking and every modality. And I was living in Boulder, Colorado at the time, where like every guru of gurus is there and available and at your service. And so I dove down into so many modalities. And when I then emerged and was sharing what I had learned, um, I really wanted to make sure that I wasn't one of those practitioners that you go to and you walk away thinking like, well, I don't, maybe it helped. I just spent $200 or whatever it was, but I don't know, maybe it did something. I really didn't want to be that practitioner. So I really searched to find some modalities and a way of working that would actually move the needle for people. Yeah.
I have a question for you. You have very specific word choices,
Mm.
and they're beautiful. And I'm curious, where do they come from? I've never heard somebody who uses such unique words. And I'm wondering if like, I'm just curious, where does that come from? I have my own opinions or ideas, but I'm curious if you're aware of it and you know it.
I don't know that I'm aware of it, but I would say my guess as to where that comes from is it's probably a combination of being addicted to books
Oh,
and reading a lot, and then also that embodiment piece that you already asked about, and really um, pausing and diving into the inner imagery the inner experience and the tangible sensations, and then having a process of being able to put that into words, which maybe perhaps I'm gonna go out on a limb and say is a gift of mine. That
Yeah, I would.
ability.
I'm going to concur because
Yeah.
it's as a listener and receiver of your words, it's enchanting.
Hmm.
And it has me want to be with you more because I'm like, well, what else is going to come out? Like I've
What else
never
is
heard of,
in there?
yeah, like what other, like it is. It's like, when you said cave and tripped, I was like, wow. And you used two other words when we first were talking, and I was fascinated. But it really, it connects me to the physical experience of what you're having.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the power of it. That's the deep embodiment is my experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, now my next question for you is you created the deck and you want to show your deck of cards, the rituals.
Yeah. So here it is.
Yeah.
This is the back of the
Or-
box here. I'll open it up. So this is it's an oracle deck. And I will say that before I created this, I wasn't really like an oracle deck diehard. And it's just, you know how toast is like a medium for butter?
Yeah.
Yeah, delivery system for butter or something yummy that you put on top. This Oracle deck is really like a medium or delivery system for this winter solstice practice.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's a perfect analogy. Wow.
So I created this because it lends the perfect structure to teach this winter solstice practice, which is really about leaning into the quiet and the darkness and the stillness of midwinter, the deep winter season when most of us are out shopping compulsively, overindulging in sugar and alcohol, jam packing our December calendars, flooding our lawns with LED light displays. It's almost just like a slap in the face to the darkness. Like, no, we will not be quiet. We will not be still. We will not dive inward. And the true gift of the midwinter season of the solstice and the solstice season is the darkness. It's the infinite. We're wrapping ourselves in this blanket of
Mm.
darkness and planting our dream seeds in the womb of winter so that they'll sprout in the spring and bloom and fully expand in the summertime, and then in the fall we're harvesting the fruits of our labor, deciding what we want to throw on the compost pile, what we want to keep for another cycle before diving back in. And so it's a practice that helps us align with that yearly rhythm and pulse and cyclical.
How did you decide to pause? Where was your pause and beginning of this?
Yeah. So I learned this practice the same year my daughter was born. Then and
Boy,
by
what a year.
what a year. Yeah, I know.
No offense.
This is what our children do, right? They we open the door to let them in, and there's a whole bunch
Like,
that floods in at the same time. So I learned it from my Qigong teacher, and it's not a Qigong practice. It's more based in ancient pagan cultures and wisdom and these traditions that celebrated and aligned with the rhythms of nature. These were cultures that were immersed in these rhythms and this pulse and paying attention to the seasons and the light and the dark and the cosmos and our place within it all. And so, uh, so, so where do we go from there?
so I asked you, where did you learn it? And what made you like, okay, so people learn things all the time,
Yeah.
but this one got you. Like
Yeah.
you started to have a relationship with it. Something happened.
Yes. Yes. So I can say after the 10 years in the cave of healing and the 10 years prior to that in yoga practice and seeking and so I mean I've really been, I would say, studying uh healing and spirituality and all related things for over 3 decades, and I can honestly say that this sweet magical winter solstice holiday practice has shifted the way that I move through my life on a day-to-day basis more than any other practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now,
Yeah.
I mean, you already had me at so many different places, but now I'm curious.
Yeah. So let me explain a little bit how the practice works, and then it will
Okay.
make more sense the gifts that I've received from it. So
Okay.
it's a 13-day practice. And the first day of the practice is the winter solstice, the longest, darkest night of the year. And the word solstice means sun standing still. So sol, sun, and then sistere, to stand still in the Latin. So after the winter solstice, the sun appears to stand still on the horizon for 3 days. So during those 3 days, we just have an initial preparation time to prepare for our deep co creative dive with this 13 Sacred Nights practice. So you're really just brainstorming and thinking about, okay, what do I want to bring into the new cycle? What do I want for the new year? And if you want to meditate more, you're maybe getting some meditation tracks or a new meditation cushion. If you want to do more cooking, maybe you're gathering recipes or ingredients, whatever it is, right? If you want a certain person in your life, you make sure that you reach out to them. Maybe you plan a date during the 13-day window, or just make sure you have their contact info. So you're just sort of doing the busy work to prepare for your 13-day dive. And then the first sacred night is really a 24-hour period. It begins at sundown on December 24th and carries through until sundown on December 25th. That 24-hour window is a reflection or a foreshadowing of the entire cycle of seasons to come. In the Northern Hemisphere, that's January through December. In the Southern Hemisphere, that's July through June. So the following 12 24-hour periods, sundown to sundown, so that would be sundown the 25th to sundown the 26th. That's a reflection of January. Sundown the 26th to sundown the 27th is a reflection of February, and so on. So during these 13 days and nights, we're doing two things. One, we're receiving guidance. We're receiving clues, hints, downloads, whisperings from source, spirit, God, the angels, your guides, your team, however you name the mystery. This is non-denominational. This is about your personal relationship with that something greater, however you name it. And so, well, how do you do that? How do you receive downloads? It's just paying attention. It's being present. And so, it's a 13-day practice in mindfulness. This is the true experience of taking the meditation off the mat. It's not a 20-minute meditation. It's not a 1 hour meditation. It's not a 2 hour meditation. It is a 13-day meditation. So you really learn to walk through your 24-hour day with more awareness of the constant conversation that we are participating in with the divine, whether we're aware of it or not.
Wow.
And it's profound. Returning to
I,
this practice year after year. And then again, we're in the cloak of the darkness. So the elements of nature are supporting us in this inward experience. We're supported by the energies outside of us to dive inward. And I like to think of, if you were to light a match in broad daylight, it's kind of underwhelming. But if you light a match in the darkness, it's really clear where the light is. And so that's why we do this practice in midwinter, in the solstice season. So that's the first piece, is the receive. And you're just writing this all down in a journal. Whatever unfolds. And people are always like, well, I don't know what to write in my journal. Anything and everything. I had this random conversation with the checker at the grocery store. This song came on the radio. So-and-so called.
oh, wow.
You're just writing down the
Oh,
mundane
wow.
details of your life during these 13 days. And then the way
But
that
so,
it,
hold on. I got it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
have to pause right
yeah,
there
go ahead, pause.
because the word doesn't match. It's you're seeing your life and the way life is communicating to you.
Say that
You,
again.
you're seeing how life is communicating to you. You're
Yes.
paying attention. So you're really paying attention to life is in communication with you. That's what you're showing me right now. And it's
Yes.
always in communication, but during this period, it's on hyper alert is what you're showing me.
Yes.
And it's profound.
It is so profound because you begin to experience the feedback, right? And the way that, oh, my inner world of emotions and thoughts is being reflected to me in my outer world. And so yes, you're really having this embodied experience of this partner dance, right?
Oh my God, it's beautiful. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but you said mundane, and it was like, oh, that word doesn't fit there.
Right. But
I want to say miraculous. It looks mundane, but it's miraculous.
yes, precisely. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the receive bit. You're gathering all of this information into this journal, and then you're drawing an oracle card each night. So for those, again, the oracle card, the oracle cards, they give a little structure to this process, which otherwise might be a little bit too ambiguous for folks. So you're drawing an oracle card each night, and then you have a message and a guide and a theme to focus on, throughout the year as your life unfolds. And I also like to think of it as it's as if, so we say as above, so below, as without, so within. What's happening on that third day after the pause, right? The light is beginning to stream back in on the horizon. So it's as if we're capturing the first light, like the tip of the fractal, and then that fractal continues to unfold throughout the remainder of the cycle in ways that we can't, we can't really, what's the word that I'm looking for? Predict. But we're gathering these clues and this guidance that as it does unfold will make so much sense, will make us laugh out loud, goosebump inducing, constant reminder throughout the year that there's something greater going on here. There's a deeper magic unfolding, and the guidance and the pause and the perspective that this magical journal gives you is just it's profound. Yeah.
It sounds like you can make people become a believer in something larger than themselves, like a believer in God or the mystical or whatever. Like that's what I'm
I
like.
mean,
Like here's your proof. You want proof? Go just do this.
yeah, I mean that is really I say my mission is to return the soul to the solstice and the holy to our holidays, but
Oh,
the deeper mission behind that is to help people connect with God. Yeah.
oh God. I
Yeah.
can't believe you are saying that. That is, I've just come there. It's like,
Yeah.
can we remember? That's
Yeah.
beautiful. When did you come to that? How did you come to that?
I think just through my own experience, again, of this practice over the years and the relationship, the real tangible embodied relationship that it helped me develop. And then, girlfriends asking for more guidance, and this oracle deck sort of organically and spontaneously evolving, and then just recognizing what why why am I offering this, and what do I want its impact to be in the world. And it's just about bringing people closer to God. Yeah.
So when you say God,
Hmm.
because to me, like this is my own projection. Like I stood away from that word for so long because of, the churches, the religions.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling, I don't know. I have a feeling, but I don't know. When you say God, what's your relationship in that?
Yeah, I stayed away from that word for a long time as well, and I've only very recently gotten comfortable using it. And for a long time, I used spirit was the word that I used. So there was a season of using the word source in there, and um, I just for whatever reason, I mean, as soon as we name it, we're already missing the mark, right? So um, so for me right now, the word God has the greatest resonance. And I'm not as afraid of using it, not as bashful or shameful or gun shy of using it. But for a long time I was. So yeah, I don't know.
I have a question. It seems that my experience in sitting with you is that you're being guided by something larger than you. Like this wasn't something you set out to do. That's
No, it's funny. My daughter recently asked me, she's 17 and she goes, Mom, did you ever think that when you grew up you were going to be an expert on the holidays? Like the history of our holidays? No, that was never in the plan. No, I think more and more and more, and especially I had a really profound experience in this last year, but more and more, my life is this dance between understanding that I am that our consciousness, our human consciousness, is divinely co-creative, and that I am part of this creation, and then also somehow simultaneously holding the energy of complete surrender, and and I think when we get to those deepest and highest truths with a capital T, they're often paradoxical like that. So it's like, okay, I'm co-creating, my desires matter, I'm in charge, and this is all happening because of who I'm being internally, and also surrender, none of it's in my control. So I'm still experimenting with how those two things merge, but it's both simultaneously.
I'm only laughing because I'm like, well, which one is it? Like I always go, like I'm agree. No, you were surrender. Like
Exactly. Which one is it? I don't know. It's both. So, but that surrender piece has really shown up in my life in the last year in big ways, and it's pretty magical when you finally release the wheel internally, so to speak, and like let go of that white knuckle grip and that tendency I think that we all have to want to wrangle life into to meet our standards, or no, it should be this way or that way, or I want it a little more like this. And when we finally just, often it takes being on your knees, right, and up against a wall, and then you let go, and then life can. It's like we're clogging our own drain, I think.
yeah, let me step yourself down.
Yeah, it's just like,
Or,
okay, fine, you take the hairball.
oh my God, such humility. I mean, I feel experience humility and delight at the same time. And
Yeah.
I didn't know that that combination was possible.
Yeah. So, yeah, so there's the surrender piece, the gathering. So, to tie back in to there's two pieces to this practice. The one is the surrender and the receiving, the here I am, move through me, show me, give me the tools, bring me the guidance, I'm open, and to receive, right? And then the other piece is this is co-creation. What are your desires? So the things that you're wanting for the new cycle, you make sure that you plant them in the fertile soil of the darkness, in the womb of winter, in that 13-day window. So again, the things that you're wanting, you make sure you do them during the 13 days. If you want that person in your life, you reach out to them during the 13 days. If you make sure you do the things that bring you joy. This doesn't have to be like a hard, disciplined 13-day practice. If there are things that make you happy and bring you joy, make sure you do them during the 13 days. So it's the receive and then the conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a beautiful, beautiful practice. I
yeah,
just want to say I'm in.
yeah, yeah.
You've got a convert. I'm serious. I really feel the profoundness of what you're sharing and the
Yeah,
ground that you're sharing it from,
yeah, yeah.
and the quality which you're sharing it with.
Mm.
You
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I am not was not over exaggerating when I said that in 30 plus years of seeking, this practice has shifted things for me more than any other. Yeah. And it's
know?
delightful, and it's this beautiful holiday ritual that you return to year after year and get excited about. And when I this conversation about ritual and how important rituals are, and that our current rituals have largely become empty and meaningless and commercialized, and this doesn't mean it's black or white or throw the baby out with the bathwater. I still participate in a lot of the usual holiday activities, but I've given myself permission to keep the things that bring me joy, that nourish me, that are fun, and that my daughter and I love to do, and I've given myself permission to let go of the things that I felt like I had to do or was supposed to do, and just wasn't really resonating with. So
It's beautiful. Lara, it's gorgeous. What an
yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah. So
Um,
for instance, like the putting the holiday lights around the house for me every year was like a really yearly dreaded chore. I just hated it.
yeah.
Tangles, and my arms would get tired, and the ladder, and then the clips, and everything. And I just finally, a handful of years ago, went like, wait a minute, I don't have to do this. Why am I doing this? This is,
Yeah.
yeah. So lean into that which is enriching your life, and let go of the rest, and then think about well, here's a related but separate conversation. Ritual is extremely powerful, right? And especially our cultural rituals, what look like our most commercialized holidays today, or hyper commercialized holidays. But why are they powerful? Because if you believe that human consciousness is on some level divinely co-creative, we're all pausing collectively together, engaging in similar behaviors, directing our attention in a similar way. That in and of itself is just massively powerful. And then,
Okay.
in addition to that, this is how we teach the younger generations, hey, mom and dad have work off. You guys are out of school. Everybody around you is doing pretty much the same thing. Pay attention. This is really important. This is what is most sacred, most important about being human in this culture, in this society that you've been born into. So, what are we teaching our children right now? We're teaching them that materialism matters most. We're teaching them that commercialism is sacred. Again, we're teaching them that shopping, sugar, and alcohol are the things that we
Yeah.
worship.
Well, it sounds like this is my invitation is to have you back and really do a whole rituals conversation
Yeah,
and understand that and share that because I just felt a whole world I hadn't seen.
yeah, yeah.
So we've come out of time for this one and this podcast at this time because I honor my time. And I just want to say thank you.
Hmm.
I am so blessed to have had you here, and I'm so thrilled that people are going to learn this and that I got to be a vehicle that it comes through delights the heck out of me.
Hmm. Thank you,
So,
Anna.
yeah. So, Laura, where can they find you? It'll be on the screens, but I always like putting out there just in case.
Yeah, so just my name, larajday.com. Don't sneak a U in there. It's LARAJ, my middle initial, and then day, DAY.com. And all the, links are there. The Oracle deck is available on Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, Simon& and Schuster, beyondword.com, all the usual places.
Congratulations. It's stunning.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning. Thank you.